She only pled to one case, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. And if I could address the court on our quandaries.
What is your quandary?
Okay. The PSI indicates that there's a recommendation for DDRF.
Mhm.
But she hasn't completed the the second part of that assessment. The second recommendation would be for safety. The third recommendation is regular probation with outpatient treatment.
All right, the court can consider all those things.
I understand. She has talked to a gentleman from Haven for Hope, and he has qualified her for inpatient treatment there. So in talking with probation, because she has another assessment to do for DDRF, we didn't know if the court was ready to rule today.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, court is calling 2022 CR 5618, State of Texas versus Cassandra Valdez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense.
Judith Wemmert for the defendant.
All right, and are you Miss Cassandra Luisa Valdez? All right, you're here for sentencing. You entered a plea on January 24th. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishments be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's no application for deferred adjudication. The state is recommending community supervision, and there's restitution. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, ma'am, we have.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report from the state of the defense?
No, Your Honor, not to the state.
The defense has objection to the restitution, and we'd like a hearing on the restitution issues. They're a little sketchy.
All right. So before we proceed, the question for the court is, why should I follow this plea? So before we get to restitution, why should I follow a plea bargain agreement when she has several unauthorized use of vehicles? And then a new one, I guess, that was just indicted. And I have destruction of property. And she's pled to the possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. And there are several cases that are being taken in consideration. So the question for the court is, why should I follow this plea?
I can't speak for the state. This was their offer, and we of course accepted it because it is a very good offer. Excuse me. As the court probably noted in the narrative of the PSI, Ms. Valdez has had less than a blissful childhood. And yes, she is a grown adult, but we all know that what happens in our childhood often carries over to our mental and other well-being as adults. She's already lost custody of her 5 children. She has no family support whatsoever. She obviously struggles with mental health, being diagnosed when she was a teenager with bipolar, PTSD, and anxiety and various other things. And as the court is well aware, the way that a lot of people who don't have a good support system deal with mental illness is alcohol and other substance abuse, which leads to criminal activity, that vicious cycle.
But at what point, and maybe you can answer this, Ms. Valdez, at what point it's no longer your childhood's fault, it's you making bad choices? What is the cutoff time? When we're 50, when we're 30? Because people come before me and they have mental health issues, they have drug issues. I can understand that. But what I have here is somebody who's using other people's cars. And this person is saying, and I know you, counsel, you're talking about the restitution.
Yes, ma'am.
But the fact that this vehicle has rims, tires, and built-in radio and navigation system that they're saying that was destroyed. I don't consider myself an expert, but I have brothers. And I will tell you, this $4,700 for rims, tires, and the built-in radio navigation system, that must have been an inexpensive rims, tires, built-in radio navigation system. because I will tell you that I always do whatever comes off from the manufacturer. I don't add any extra. It is what it is. And my tires are very expensive, and they don't even have the bells and whistles that it sounds as this person has. So at what point is it not mental health? Because there are people who have mental health issues. They don't go around taking somebody's car, destroying it. Sure, let me have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Cassandra Valdez.
Yes.
Okay, if you look at my criminal record, I lost my kids 4 years ago when I picked up my first son. The reason why I lost them is I got ran over by their dad, and I was in a wheelchair, and the state decided I was mentally unfit. So being a parent from 17 years old all the way to 31, 32, when I lost him, I didn't know what to do. I got into the wrong crowd. I thought people were my friends. I listened to them.
Okay, let me just tell you, if the other people were standing before me and they say they got into the wrong crowd and I asked them who's a part of the wrong crowd, they would say you. And I know if Child Protective Services took your children, I know they didn't just wash their hands of you. I know, and Ms. Wimmer probably knows too, that they give you an attorney over there, and they have conditions for you to follow through. And if you have mental health issues, they get somebody to help you with your mental health. If you have parenting deficiencies, they help you with that.
Yes, ma'am.
Basically, Child Protective Services, when they take your children into care, if they don't have them placed with you, basically you have a free babysitter for an entire year to get your life together.
Yes, ma'am.
So the fact that they took 5 children from you, it wasn't just because you're in a wheelchair, because there are people who are in wheelchairs who have their children. It's because you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
Yes, ma'am. And now, I mean, I realized that, and now I am in contact with them, and I do have an opportunity to be there for them and change my life.
Where are your children placed?
With their aunt.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have contact yet. And I'm not, if I follow this agreement, I'm not going to let you have contact with them yet.
Okay.
All right, you can go for it.
And I mean, I really hope, I mean, I know you're looking at that paper and I've done a lot of stupid things, but I've learned from it, and I mean, I just want to chance to do better. I haven't had a chance, and I don't, it's not for me.
Oh, it's not for anybody. I can guarantee you. People who are over in the box right now, who are in custody, all of them are saying this is not for me.
But I need help. I do need help, and I want the help. I do.
State, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, ma'am.
All right, probation, what's the wait time for DDRL?
Your Honor, right now, the wait time will be
2 years?
about 10 weeks for her. It's 4 to 8 weeks for the actual wait time, and anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks for medical clearance. So
We're looking at 4 to 8 weeks.
I would say 8 to 10 weeks.
Oh, you're saying 4 to 8 weeks. I thought you were saying 48
No,
weeks.
4 to 8.
All right, because I was doing the math in my head. I'm just like, we're getting into federal time. All right, is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you were released, where would you be saying?
I got into the inpatient at Lincoln's Hope. So I have a bed waiting for me. And they actually gave me a choice between inpatient and outpatient, and I picked the inpatient.
All right. And with regards to the restitution amount, state?
Your Honor, when stated in the PSI, the state would be requesting that be ordered.
All right, and do you want to have a restitution hearing?
Yes, ma'am. I really would. I've had some interesting experiences, and I know the court has too, along the way, with people claiming things that, for example, the rims and the tires and everything. If insurance paid, then he was compensated for the value of those items.
All right, and I will tell you what he's saying in the PSI is they were not a part of that, and usually the $4,500 rims that you put on your vehicle, usually the insurance is like, no, unless you let them know, hey, I have $4,500 worth of rims, which nobody ever does. And I can't believe, they actually have a business, Rent a Rim, so you can change out your rims every week. And those rims, people who rent them pay $200 a week for them.
I don't know anybody like that.
Yeah,
I've heard of defendant that did that.
yeah, yeah. And the Rent a Rim place has insurance. Who would have thought you could make money by renting rims to people? All right. This is the court. We'll do the court. We'll sentence you to 5 years in prison, suspended and probated.
My name is Happy. I upload courtroom video for education purpose. This video may contain copyrighted works not specifically authorized for use, but believed in good faith to be protected by the fair use doctrine under Section 107 of U.S. copyright law.